Right, everyone, before we get in today's show, here's a quick message from our sponsor. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, not another one of these sponsors, but you're really going to want to listen to this. You really do. Oxford Natural, they really get you primed to your optimum level. We've all been there, haven't we? Long nights on the road, whether you're at football, whether you're at work, fast food, takeaways, a beer, another beer, and you're always like, let's kick the can down the road. Our health can come later, but you all have the best intentions, but you're all saying, oh, it can come a bit later. I'm not telling you this is a magic pill or anything like that, but it does get you primed to your optimum level.
That's why we have teamed up with Oxford Natural, who have designed these supplements to help you along your fitness journey. Optimum Day, which is a combination of green tea extract, berberine and guarana, which is designed to help you with your energy, cravings, and keeping you on track with your wellness journey. And Optimum Night, which is also a combination of berberine, magnesium and ashwagandha, which helps you with your sleep, recovery, and helping you properly switch off.
And like I said before, this isn't a magic pill. It does get you primed to the optimum level. And we are just at the beginning of our journey. And already we are seeing the effects. We are sleeping better. We are waking up better. You know, if you know anything about me and Sim, we are not morning people. And we are very groggy in the morning, find it hard to wake up. And this, straight away, we were able to get up a lot easier. Like I said, the sleep has been a lot better. And we also, both of us, drink a lot of coffee. Not one coffee have we drunk since taking these supplements.
I haven't woken up fresher since I've been taking the Oxford Natural supplements a few days ago. And it's been a real life changer, if I'm being honest. And it's been absolutely brilliant. And you're going to be tracking us on our wellness journey over the next few months. But we're only promoting this because it works. And here's some real life proof on screen right now. Both Robbie and Michael Owen teamed up with Oxford Natural for their wellness journey, and you can see the results for yourself.
Get your supplements and start your fitness journey in the comments section below. You can see on screen, use the code WeAreTottenhamTV to get 70% off your first order, guys. And I'm telling you guys, this is no magic pill like I keep mentioning. It really works. So get yours, link in description below. But enough of that, let's get into some Spurs talk. On to this update, quite a lot to get through. First up, let's just touch on Senesi one more time. I brought you the video very early in the morning. 8 in the morning we got the here we go for Marcos Senesi today. It's not like we didn't expect it coming. First and foremost, we'll get Sim's initial reaction. But yeah, he's going to sign a 4-year deal. Apparently, TalkSport claiming that Man United, Juventus, Atletico Madrid were all interested in him. He didn't get called up to the Argentinian squad, but Spurs have won the race. And this is a player that has got high quality on the ball. He made more through balls last season than Spurs made as a team all season.
Ridiculous. He's a phenomenal player on the ball. He's one of the best, I think, centre-backs in the league, kind of with his passing ability. He's a phenomenal passer, brave passer as well. Doesn't just go for the easy passes. As you say, through balls, he's not a stranger to breaking into the final third and actually, you know, playing passes into the final third or playing a through ball. So I think it's a really smart piece of business. You cast your mind back to, I think, March time when he announced that he was leaving, or maybe it was February time when he announced he's leaving Bournemouth and going to go to a new club. Obviously, we were linked to that time, but I thought no chance we're going to get him. He's going to go to Chelsea or Liverpool or a better team than Tottenham. He's had a phenomenal season, and obviously Bournemouth now ended the season in 6th and on that 18-game unbeaten run with a really solid defensive record as well. And he was just a massive part of that. I think the biggest compliment you could give him is that they just didn't miss Abriani and Heisen at all. In fact, they got better, and that's because of how good Senesi has been. And in fact, before his injury, which he, I think, last season picked up a serious injury, he was actually ahead of Heisen. Heisen only got his chance because Senesi got injured.
You know, in that season that you're talking about, was it 3 seasons ago now, basically?
It was 2. I think it was 2 seasons ago.
Well,
it was Andrew's second season.
The season just gone, he got 5 goal contributions. The season before, he didn't play a lot of games. He played like 15 injury. Games. That's what I'm saying. The season before that is the season I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah.
He got 9 goal contributions that season, 4 goals and 5 assists, or 5 goals and 4 assists. It's like monstrous.
Yeah, he's a real threat in the final third as well, in the box. I think we've seen that. He'll fit right in, obviously. We know Romero and Van der Ven have been getting a lot of goal contributions this season, so hopefully Senesi can fill in that part as well. Considering it's a free transfer, if he was on a 3-year deal, this player is costing easily 40 million at least. So the fact that we've able to get him on a 4-year deal, beating off a lot of competition, is a really good piece of business at a decent age, and for a centre back in his prime as well. And also, finally, we've got an alternative left centre-back as well to Van de Ven, which I think we've needed ever since Van de Ven came to the club. I think that's something we've really struggled with. Every time he can't play or gets injured, we're always like, who's going to play left centre-back? And we're filling in a player who's not comfortable there, or filling in a full-back there, or whatever. So we finally have an alternative. But I don't think he's come here to be an alternative, of course. He wants to start regularly. He's proven in the Premier League he's good enough to be a starter for a team that can finish in the top 6 positions.
Well, De Zerbi's already come out in a press conference and said Van de Ven's better than Senesi anyway. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting how he balances that out with whether he can play them together, or whether one of them comes in and one of them goes to fullback, or one of them's on the bench and it's a fight for their position. Either way, it's a good problem to have. Having good players like Senesi. He's got a good mentality. He's been through, the last couple of years, he's been through a lot of hardship with that injury, and he came back stronger than ever. He came back even better than ever. And it shows a lot that Bournemouth didn't even sign a centre-back because they trusted him so much when they sold two brilliant centre-backs in Zabriani and Hyson. So I think there's a lot of teams out there, a lot of fans at the moment, which we'll get into in a bit, that are really angry and upset that they didn't go harder for Senesi and allowed him to go to Tottenham if that is the case, because he did choose us. So I think well done to Spurs for getting ahead of the competition. Really smart piece of business, really smart signing. Really excited to see him in the Tottenham shirt, and I think he's perfect for De Zerbi as well. I think he's going to grow even more on the ball, because I think under Iraola he's kind of like the way they play their kind of 100 miles an hour hustle and bustle, like always kind of urgent, no kind of not a patient team. Whereas with De Zerbi, he's going to learn how to be a bit more patient, like stop for a moment and consider all the options rather than just going for the first option you see, like under Iraola. So I think he's even going to improve even in that aspect, and I think I'm really excited to see how he develops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, he didn't get to the World Cup though, which I was very surprised about.
Yeah, I think that's positive for Spurs.
Yeah, it's good for us. I'm just surprised. Just surprised, like they picked.
Because I was saying in my video why this is a major positive for us. If the Netherlands go really far into the World Cup, Van de Ven is not going to have a full pre-season. So that means we can start the season with Senesi and not have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, which is not a luxury we've had in previous seasons.
Exactly. All right, let's go on to our next topic, and that is Radu Dragusin. Marco Di Natale, an Italian journalist, is claiming that the price tag has been set for Radu this summer, which is between 15 and 20 million euros. So Spurs are willing to accept an offer of between 15 and 20.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's probably around the right kind of fee. I'd be surprised if I don't think we're getting more than that. I think anywhere in that price range, I think acceptable to me, acceptable to the club. I think he needs to move on, needs to have a bit of a reset. Another player obviously suffered big with injury. I don't think it helps him now, especially with just regardless of the quality of the player. If he's got this big injury and he's barely played didn't last season when he came back, and I think he needs to just get that regular game time again to get himself back up to his speed and back up to his best. So I think it's best for everyone if we part ways.
Agreed.
On this occasion,
he's just not a De Zerbi player. He wasn't an Ange player, maybe under Thomas Frank, but I don't think he got a minute under Thomas Frank, did he?
Didn't see him at all. He did. Yeah, I was about to say against City, and he was awful in that game. But obviously, it's a tough game. He came in, I think we played a back three, and he was on the left of a back three, and he was just not the right fit.
Was that his first game back from his ACL?
I think it was his first start.
Yeah.
First start.
Next up is João Palhinha. There's conflicting reports on João Palhinha today. Graham Bailey is saying Spurs are hoping to conclude shortly in the permanent signing of João Palhinha. However, a bowler, not the most reliable source, but they're claiming an agreement between Sporting and João Palhinha has been reached. Sporting must now convince Bayern Munich to find a financial solution to make their transfer possible. So they're claiming that personal terms have been agreed between João Palhinha and Sporting.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've heard that, so I wonder if this is being pumped out there to try and speed Tottenham up a bit. Put these rumours out there about Sporting to, if Tottenham are having any kind of lingering doubts, we know De Zerbi wants him. I wonder if, we know it hasn't kind of been wrapped up yet. Is there some hesitancy from the football club's point of view, whether they want to commit to a long-term deal with high wages for a player like Palhinha, who might be out the door in a year or two, but De Zerbi obviously wants him now because he's got brilliant mentality, he's brilliant for the dressing room, and obviously was a big part of us staying in the Premier League as well. So there might be a bit of conflict there. Whatever De Zerbi wants, I'll go with that if he wants to keep him. When it comes to these reports, yeah, I wonder if that's what's happening here. Is it a bit of gamesmanship from agents and stuff? Because I don't see Palhinha agreeing to Sporting right now. That doesn't make any sense to me when Tottenham are very interested. He clearly would like to stay here. He said it a few times that he's really enjoyed being here. Even if he doesn't stay here, would he go back to Sporting, or are there going to be other offers on the table? Probably, you would think there'll be other offers, maybe even within the Premier League. So I don't think he's going to jump at the chance before June is even here to go and join Sporting before seeing what's out there. So I don't believe that. I don't believe he's agreed to join Sporting. I'll be very surprised if he has.
It's also like where his head's at. Does he want to go back to Portugal? I mean, he is a Sporting fan, and I think that's where he started his career as well. So he's obviously got an affinity to the club. So it'll be interesting if he's willing to go back there or not. I don't know.
That's the only way I think Sporting can get him this early, is that he's just desperate to go back home, go back to Sporting, and maybe somewhere where he really feels at home and feels the love, and maybe that he just wants to have a few good years at Sporting while he's still near the top of his game. So maybe that is the truth. But again, when it comes to just where I think what the smart thing would do if I was in his position, I don't think it would be agreeing a deal to go to Sporting in June. Before June's even here.
Yeah. Next up.
Here we go again.
First of all, Alistair Gold has said that Tottenham are expected to sign a new striker this summer. And there are reports in Mexico from a publication called TUDN. Never heard of them before today, but they do have like over 4 million followers on X. Claims that Tottenham are interested in signing Mexican international striker Santiago Jimenez. The player could be on the move after the World Cup, and Tottenham are hoping to sign him. The 25-year-old has struggled for regular opportunities at AC Milan and has scored just 1 goal in all competitions this year for Milan. I mean, his time at Milan has been a horror story for him.
I heard if we fail in a bid for Jimenez, we're going to go for the backup options, either Paulo Dybala or Leandro Damião. That's what I've heard. This is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. If it is true, it's nice to know that we've got some new targets now. De Zerbi's in. Same as this time Somerville, Senesi, Robertson, all linked with us before De Zerbi even came. So you can.
Does that worry you at all? Because it's starting to worry me a little bit.
I don't believe this one though.
Yeah, fine, not this one, but I'm talking about the Somervilles and the Senesis and the Palhinha, all these guys that we were linked with before De Zerbi comes in. This is the exact guys we're going for now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, to be honest. Can't say it's not. I think I would like some fresh, new kind of. You would think with De Zerbi coming into the club, he's got like a fresh set of eyes on the whole thing, and so he would have a kind of idea in his mind of who he wants, and you would hope it's different to what we were going before, because the direction we were going before was absolutely nowhere. So the fact that we're hearing a lot of the similar names, there's definitely kind of give the impression that the recruitment is still very much club-led, but obviously I'm sure they're working in tandem with De Zerbi at the moment, and obviously it's going to be club-led. I don't think De Zerbi's going out there scouting players himself. I'm sure he's relying on the scouting department, recruitment department, who are obviously employed by the club. So you could say all the recruitment is probably going to be club-led, but you would hope there was like a new, fresh approach now De Zerbi was here. Yeah. And it doesn't seem like on the face of it right now that that's the case. But have to wait and see. In terms of Jimenez, don't want him. Don't think it's true. And I think he's going to be probably in the Mexican second division in a year's time or something.
Yeah, he has been shocking for AC Milan. I mean, he was so good in the Dutch league, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's another Vincent Janssen.
Yeah, literally. Like so many players come from the Dutch league, and you're thinking, wow, look how many goals they're scoring, and then they go to a big league and they just can't do it. And it seems like Santiago Jimenez is more of the same. 5 goals in 14 games in his first year. In his second year, which was last season, 0 goals in 16 appearances for AC Milan in the league. He got 1 goal in the cup. So
I think I'd rather Troy Parrott.
Yeah, I would as well, to be fair. He's another one that's smashing out in the Dutch league.
Exactly.
All right, that's Santiago Jimenez. Let's talk about Crescencio Somerville. Obviously, it was highly well documented that we went for him in January and couldn't get the deal over the line as West Ham were unwilling to sell in the midst of a relegation battle against us. Now they are down. Spurs have apparently revived their interest in Somerville. Reports in Holland from Football International saying that Tottenham are making a concrete offer for Somerville, and SZY saying reports regarding Somerville are true, but they understand there is still interest, and he's on the list of possible winger targets, but no contact has been made as of yet. How would you feel if we brought in Somerville and Savinho as our winger targets?
I think you'd probably have to sell or loan out Tell in that scenario. I don't mind it. I don't think it's perfect, but I do think there's Somerville, who's I think had a brilliant second half of the season. No one can deny that. I think
it was a shocking first half of the season.
It was a shocking first half, but you also got to take into context his whole career. He was very highly thought of at Leeds. Had a smashing, did pretty well in the Premier Leagues, and then brilliant in the Championship. Got his move to West Ham. Didn't really do great in his first season, and then obviously the first half of this season was also bad. But also West Ham have been a complete mess as well. And then once Nuno has come in and got to grips with things, he's really sparked into life. And whenever you watch him, he's a danger. And I think the guy has quality as well. The guy, I do think, can score goals like more regularly than he's shown. So I think for me, if you're asking me what I'd want, I'd rather get one of Somerville or Savinho, not both.
Who would you prefer?
I think Somerville might be ahead of him right now, but I think Savinho might have more talent. So I'd probably go with Savinho. But yeah, I'll probably go with Savinho. But I like Somerville as well. I wouldn't want to sign both of them. I think just one of them. If we sign both and then let's say loan or sell Tell, I mean, definitely better options. I don't think it's bad options, to be honest. Like, I think it's nothing that wows me immediately.
Do you need to sell Tell because you've got Savinho who can play on both sides?
I guess I don't need to.
Because then you'll have Tell, Somerville, Savinho, Kudus.
Yeah, that's actually that is true. And obviously, we'll see what happens with Decky happens.
But yeah, Decky sees himself as more of a 10 anyway.
Yeah, it's also true.
You got Odebear coming back, but that's a problem for.
I mean, if we sign Savinho, we sign Somerville, and we sign another striker, sell Richarlison, depending who that is. I mean, our attack is definitely going to look a lot better. Whether it's where we want it to be is the question. But if you're telling me it's going to be a lot, is that an attack, depending on who the striker is, that could maybe compete for what we want to compete for? I think it could potentially.
I'm undecided. I don't know if it can. I don't know. Again, I don't know. Is there enough goal contributions in those set of wingers, even with Somerville? Like, Somerville scored 5 goals last season, and he got 2 assists. It's not exactly monstrous numbers.
How many goals?
5.
Yeah, but it's
and
true.
They all come in a very short space of time, didn't they?
But he is a good player. You look at he was also very good at Leeds, though.
Yeah, in the Championship, he smashed it. He got like 29 goal contributions.
In the Prem, it wasn't bad.
In the Prem, the year before, he got 4 goals.
And how many assists?
2 assists.
Yeah, but he was so that was 3 years ago. So he was like a 21-year-old. It wasn't bad. I like him. I think he's good.
I like him as well. But what I'm saying is, do they add the goal contributions that we need for next season? I'm just unsure of it.
Yeah. It's difficult.
Because I watched West Ham play in this relegation battle, and he was the only one that was making stuff happen.
But then again, if you were talking goal contributions, we have Brennan. He did great goal contributions, but we didn't want him.
I know, and I thought it was a mistake to sell him.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You think it was a mistake to sell him at the time we did. Not you wouldn't want to sign him back.
Of course, I wouldn't sign him back, but it was a mistake to sell him. I said it at the time.
No, but that's you're talking about as a mistake to sell him because we didn't sign anyone.
Correct. But it's not because we didn't replace his goal contributions.
But you're not talking about.
But Somerville.
What I'm saying is goal contributions. Of course, we want more. I'm just saying it's not that's not the only thing we should look at, because otherwise that could lead you to sign a Brennan.
Correct. We know, of course, but that has to be taken into account as well.
Of course, yeah, I understand that. But they, when we had an attacking manager last, we'd had more goal contributions from our players on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Now last season, the season just been, it was a disaster, but maybe you put a lot of these wingers that we have in a more attacking system, and maybe we will see more goal contributions.
Maybe, but maybe not as well.
I think it's more likely, yes, that we'll get more.
Savinho was in an attacking system. He only scored 2 goals.
Yeah, I know that. He did get quite a few assists though, over the
2 seasons ago he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think where we're at, 2 17th place finishes in a row, we can't exactly be picky choosy and get a world-class talent in probably, so it might even be the best that we can attract right now.
I mean, I would, if you're up to me, I would say get Savinho and then maybe go for an Ndai. That's probably what I would do. I wouldn't probably go for both Savinho and Somerville. But let's say Ndai is unattainable. I mean, I think Somerville, you could do a lot worse.
The thing is, right, 6 months ago, you wouldn't have taken Somerville. We didn't want him in January. We were saying this guy's a flop, he's done nothing. And now, and a purple patch, and now we're saying we want him.
Purple patch but as well, it's good form, you're right, but I think it follows on from what he was showing earlier in his career. So I think he's maybe starting to fulfill his potential more than just a purple patch. That's what I would say about Somerville.
I'm just undecided about it. When I see him play, he does look like a good player. And I think he does look better than Savinho. He impacts games a lot more than Savinho, in my opinion. So I might actually side with Somerville over Savinho. But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like West Ham did so terribly with Kudus and Somerville in their team.
It's true.
And then we're going to end up with Kudus and Somerville.
Yeah, when you put it like that. Doesn't sound great.
So, I don't know. I prefer to go for someone of higher stature and maybe more proven. But I think Somerville would excite fans. I think he's also a frustrating player as well. That's the thing. So, I don't know.
But as I said, I don't think I would sign, if we're serious about Savinho, I don't think I would sign both him and Somerville. I think one or the other.
The problem we got is that all these players are just frustrating players to watch. Somerville, Savinho, Kudus, Tell. Like, all of them are so frustrating to watch at times.
You've got to ask an Everton fan. I'm sure Ndai frustrates the hell out of them some days. It's because we watch them all the time. But, you've got to see what they can do as well. Yeah.
But you've got to be completely sure about it if we're going to start, because we need to get this transfer window right. We need to get it spot on. And I guess, it depends, what you're trying to achieve this summer and for next season. Is it to get back in Europe? I don't know if they're good enough to get back into Europe. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. Let us know in the comment section below. Who's next? Next is Marcus Rashford.
There's a player good enough to get into Europe, I think.
Daily Mail saying that Spurs are now considering a move for Marcus Rashford with his future uncertain at Barcelona. I mean, he's just on loan there, isn't he?
He is.
And they're about to sign Anthony Gordon to replace him.
They've pretty much signed him.
So I don't know what Michael Carrick thinks of Rashford. Does Carrick want to bring Rashford back in? Does Rashford even want to go back to Manchester United? If he doesn't, I do think there's a bit of an opportunity for Spurs here to get maybe a Rashford on loan or maybe even a permanent signing, With everyone saying that, we're willing to smash our wage structure and all that, I think we should try and pursue it. I really do. I think he's quality.
I mean, if you're looking for goal contributions, he's your guy.
Yeah.
He's your guy. He's the one who definitely gets them.
I'll bring in him and a Somerville. That I'll be happy with.
Yeah, I think Rashford has really obviously rebuilt his career over the last 18 months after what was, awful ending at Man United. Brilliant, I thought. He was really good at Villa, and then obviously he's had a really good season out in Barca. Obviously the big stumbling block would be obviously wages, but we have quite bigger financial muscle than maybe some other teams in the Premier League. I don't see Man United selling or the other top 6 clubs being that interested in spending that amount of money on him right now, to be honest. I don't see him going to Arsenal or City or Liverpool or Chelsea, maybe Chelsea, but it's not really in their model to sign someone like Rashford who's 28. So I think there might be an opportunity. There might be. Obviously, Rashford would have to be content with the fact that he was just playing at Barca and now he's playing at Tottenham. So he has to be content with that.
But any of his next steps is going to be a step backwards, isn't it?
From Barca, but Tottenham finished 17th. You know, that a bit of a gap. Maybe could Newcastle go for him to replace Gordon potentially? I mean, he could fit in well there.
And he's a player that can fill in up front as well.
But we're both not in Europe, so if both us and Newcastle on level playing field on that front, maybe he would pick us over Newcastle, London Life and stuff like that. So I think there is potential, as whether we're serious about him and whether you can get the wages right. It's very interesting, like Tuchel came to the England setup and immediately put Rashford back in when he was out in the cold and immediately said, no, this is the kind of player we need. It's because there are very few players in Europe, or definitely for England, who have his explosive pace, but also that just shooting ability. Like you have both of them in tandem. It's a rare skill set that if you harness correctly, it's very hard to stop. And I think Man United for many years didn't use him as well as they could have, and obviously a lot of circumstances. But Tuchel immediately brought him back in when he had other players in unbelievable form. You're like, how is Rashford back in? But he's done quite well for England ever since he's come back in the England setup. So I'll definitely look at it. I'll definitely look at him and try and get him through the door.
Yeah, I'd love to see Marcus Rashford at Spurs. I really would. I think it'd be a major coup for us going into next season. That's the kind of player I'm talking about, with guaranteed goal contributions, because he has that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hard to find these Rashfords.
Yeah, of course it's hard. Yeah, 100%. And last but not least, yep. Oh, I don't have the thing of him, but we're going back there, people. We are going back there. Morgan Gibbs-White. Miguel Delaney says that Tottenham have revived their interest in Morgan Gibbs-White. What do you reckon Mr. Marinakis has to say about that?
They can revive it all they want, but Marinakis will kill it. Will kill it dead, I assure you. Or someone's going to end up dead, that's for sure. Yeah, no chance Marinakis. No chance Marinakis lets this happen. Absolutely zero chance. His pride and ego, he would rather sell to anyone but Tottenham. He would, even if it means taking less money, he will not let Tottenham win this. I guarantee you that. Obviously, Gibbs-White has had a brilliant second half of the season, 15 Premier League goals. I thought definitely in the last season, in the season just being at the beginning, the speculation had affected him and he didn't quite have the best start to last season.
Because he only wanted Spurs, mate.
But he really
wants
knuckled
to be
down,
here.
Especially when there was relegation trouble. He was scoring goals every week, brilliant goals, hat-tricks. Was very unlucky not to get into the World Cup squad. This is another target, by the way, which pre-De Zerbi, but maybe this one we can forgive if we get him through the door. Obviously, I would love him. Versatile, can play in the 10, can play in the 8, play in a few different positions. Robust as well physically. I think De Zerbi will really like him.
It felt like he was single-handedly keeping Forest up.
Yeah, at times. He was their star man for sure. Throughout the last few weeks of the season, he was absolutely brilliant. So I'd love him. I'd love Tottenham to get him, but I feel like Marinakis would take a cut deal just to not let Tottenham get him. They'll let anyone else but Tottenham. I'm sure he would come if Marinakis would let it, but I don't know if he will.
So is there going to be? There's no release clause in his contract anymore, is there? They probably took it out.
Doesn't matter if there was one.
Or unless, yeah, I mean...
You wouldn't let Tottenham activate it, that's for sure.
It's ridiculous.
Maybe there's a secret release clause.
Yeah,
there's
maybe.
Another secret. Anyone know? Anyone know out there? There's another secret.
Spurs just keep adding 10s until the release clause is met. And then just meet the release clause and get him through the door. I would just love to see the look on Marinakis' face if Gibbs-White joined Tottenham.
He just won't
It would be
let
a great day. It would be a great day. But I'd love to see him at Tottenham. I think this guy's fantastic, man. He really is. Explosive, unbelievable shot. Got that grit to him as well. Yeah, I mean, if only we got him last summer. But look, I think he's desperate to get out of Forest. It's just about how he's going to get out of Forest. The way he handled that situation, it disappointed me a lot last summer. Because Gibbs-White could have pushed it. Could have pushed for it. He could have done.
Could he?
Well, he got pressured by Marinakis, didn't he?
Yeah.
Marinakis not going to kill him, is he?
Look, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just saying I don't want to get on the wrong side of Marinakis. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
but
saw
if
him in a
you're-
basketball game. He ain't afraid to
I know, but
throw a few punches.
if you're a Premier League footballer, surely you can like be a bit more firmer with him. You know what I mean? It's just a bit ridiculous.
I don't think there's any chance we can get. I think we pissed off Marinakis too much last summer. But the thing is as well with Gibbs-White, with Forest not in Europe, I think last season, there was a little bit about him that was like, okay, if I have to stay, it's not the end of the world. We're in Europe and maybe we can kick on from last season. And I had a great season anyway. But now they're out of Europe, there's not that incentive for him to stay another year. And maybe one might push for it a bit more than last summer, potentially.
There was interest from Man City last summer as well. I wonder if Man City kind of revived that interest.
True.
That could be a possibility too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have spoken about today.